Okay, we're rolling again now. Again, the question comes up about whether someone can teach amateur boxing if they never really boxed themselves, and you're saying, of course, the answer is yes.
Of course it is. If they've grown up around boxing and they've witnessed a lot of boxing in a gym and the communication with the coach and the boxer, you know, they can get all the little slang type stuff in there, and they can pick up on it, and they can go forward with the love of boxing and get a lot better. But usually they don't. Usually they pick up on the slang and they you know, just hang around like they're boxing coaches. So, but through clinics, you learn, you get a lot of knowledge. You gain respect of the other coaches because they have access to you when they need you, and they can ask you questions as well. You know, it's a good thing for boxing coaches to attend coaches clinics, because even if they've never boxed, they learn to communicate what it is that makes a good amateur boxer.
And one of the things that's, I guess, the foundation of this kind of communication has to do with the philosophy of boxing, and tied in with the definition of boxing and the history of boxing.
Oh, that's correct. You know, boxing's the art of hitting an opponent from the furthest distance away, exposing the least amount of your body while getting in position to punch with maximum leverage and not getting hit. That was stated by four of the greatest fighters that's ever lived, you know. And Benny Leonard said, you know, boxing is the art of hitting an opponent the furthest distance away. Kid Chocolate says you need to get in position to punch. Ray Robinson said that hitting an opponent from the furthest distance away while getting in position to punch with maximum leverage is going to win a lot of fights for you. Jack Dempsey says that if you can't get in position to punch with maximum leverage, then you know, you're not going to be a great fighter. You have to be able to punch with maximum leverage. You know, Willie Pep says, you know, you hit and don't get hit. So if you take those and put them together, you come up with the philosophy that I just gave you. And that was the philosophy of Bill Gore, Benny Leonard, Cuyo Hernandez, who's had 19 world champions out of Mexico, George Gainsford, who trained Sugar Ray Robinson. I mean, Jack Dempsey. You know, I mean, these guys were magnificent people, and they understood what boxing was all about.
And these are all people, or a lot of them are folks that you sat down, spent a little time with, and you know, learned in depth about the sport.
Well, as a matter of fact, I met every one of them except Benny Leonard, and I met every one of them and talked boxing with them. So.
Now, the question comes up about Ali and the idea of fighting on natural talent versus using the proper fundamentals. And you had said in the past that, you know, in fact, Ali was kind of detrimental to some aspects of the sport because kids were starting to, you know, use their natural talent, and they got away from fighting with fundamentals.
Well, maybe detrimental is not the way to put it. I'd say that if you look at Ali and what Ali's done for boxing as a whole, then you put that all together, you'd say, holy crap, boy, he's done a lot of great things for boxing. Well, he's done a few bad things too that carried over, and that is fighting strictly on your natural abilities without having any taught abilities. Ali was a guy that had great peripheral vision, had great range, had great speed and balance, and he was able to get away with it. But he fought in an era of where you know, there wasn't too many fundamentalists left in the world at that time, and good fundamentalists and good guys that had fought in the past, that knew how to cut off the ring, how to get off first, how to take you across the ring, how to pursue and stuff like that. That had become a lost art by then. And I think, and it's not bad-mouthing Ali, because I love Ali. Matter of fact, I trained in the same gym with him here for at least a year and a half. I done road work with him every morning, you know, for a long time. So Ali was a friend, okay? So, but he was not the ultimate fighter. And I think if boxing historians look at things the way it really is, then you won't call him the greatest, although I call him the greatest anyway. So.
But what you had said was that for a long time, too many kids were just trying to imitate Ali, and they weren't using the fundamentals. They were trying to use his style when they might not have had the natural talent to pull it off.
Well, that's correct. Nobody had the natural talent Ali had. I can say that. Nobody had the natural abilities that he had. You don't have anybody around that had those natural abilities, and those abilities were such in the era that he come up in, that he could win with those natural abilities. And other kids are not going to be Muhammad Ali ever. Nobody will be. And to try to imitate Ali and box like Ali with different bodies and different minds is almost insane. It's just that would not be the way you would teach a boxer to box.
And obviously now, hopefully over time, the fundamentals will return to boxing, or certainly amateur boxing's program here in the U.S.
Well, I've given coaches clinics in 26 different countries and over the last 14 years. So I think that Europeans are starting to fight the way Americans used to fight, and it's not just on my part. It's from watching Americans fight all of their life. They've started to copy the same thing that people would copy on Ali. They're copying American boxers, and every time you go overseas, they want to talk about one or the other boxers that they thought the most of. But through the era up until Ray Leonard in there, you had some great fighters, and Marvin Hagler and all them guys. You had some great fighters that they would like to be like. And those particular fighters in particular had very good fundamentals. They were fundamentalist, and their trainers that taught them were fundamentalists. So that was the last of a great era, and Ali came along in the middle of that, and because of Ali's popularity and everything, they leaned toward Ali. They wanted to box like Ali, and actually he was there before that, but that's what happened. We sort of skipped that link, to fundamentalism that we need to go back to, and we've been getting beat all over the world. American fighters have by guys that have half the talent we have, but we're just not doing anything fundamental anymore.
Hopefully we could change that.
Well, progress. The word progress is not always the best thing. It could be that it was as good as it was going to get at one time, and you want to progress away from it. So maybe that's what's happened. But I can tell you this: there's about 3 boxing coaches in this country that really know what they're teaching and have a great idea about the philosophy of boxing and fundamentalism, and these guys are giving more to boxing than others because they are giving back knowledge.